All right, today, boys and girls, we are going to be doing Unit 5, Lesson 14. And I'm trying to get that glare off, but I can't seem to get it off. All right, Unit 5, Lesson 14. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to review with these sounds. And what kind of sounds are these? Who can tell me? Vowels. That's right. These are vowels. It's amazing how much louder my voice is when I don't have that mask on. Okay, you ready? Here we go. E, Good job. Okay, let's review our sounds. Here we go.
Muzzy the monkey, Muzzy the monkey. Ticking timer, ticking timer. Daisy dinosaur, Daisy dinosaur. Clicking camera, clicking camera. Golden gopher, golden gopher. Noisy nest, noisy nest. Hand dog, Harry the hand dog. Sizzling sausages, sizzling sausages. Franny the fan, Franny the fan. Benny the vacuum, Benny the vacuum.
Be careful. It's That's right. It's Okay, here we go.
Zippy zipper, zippy zipper. Hopping corn, hopping corn. Bouncing ball, bouncing ball.
Be careful. All right, next one.
Laughing lion, laughing lion. Oh, 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 oh. Rosie the robot, Rosie the robot. Run, run, run. Willie the washer, Willie the washer. What, 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 what? Jumping rope, jumping rope. Yeah, yeah,
And we're going to do that again today. And I'm going to be pointing out some things to you that I want you to really pay attention to. Because as you are reading, they are going to help you read once I start sending take-home readers home. They're going to help you to read, and once we start really writing, they're going to help you to write as well. All right, so the first thing I want us to look at in our big book is, do you remember what this is called? Oh, you're thinking about the title, but what part of the book is this?
The cover.
The what?
The cover.
The front of the book. What's another name for it, Shaven?
The cover.
The cover on the book. And what can you find on the cover?
The name of it.
The name or the title, right? And a lot of times, not on this one, but a lot of times you also find the author and the illustrator. But that's not the case on this one, okay? All right. The title of this book is called Ox and Man. Good. Ox and Man. This is our title page. Once again, on the title page, you're going to find the title, and a lot of times you're going to find the author and the illustrator. Okay? Just not on this because it's part of our textbook. Okay? All right. Ox and Man. And we've already read this one time, but I'm going to read it to you again. And as I read it to you again, I'm going to point out some things that I really want you guys to pay attention to, okay? Okay. Ox ran and ran. Look at the end of this sentence. What is that?
A period.
A period. And when do we put a period?
When you're done reading. When are you done reading?
Yeah.
At the end of the word.
At the end of a sentence, right? At the end of a sentence. We don't put it after every word, just when we're done with our sentence. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll learn about some other punctuation marks as we move on. But right now, all we're learning about is the period. Okay? All right. Jen ran at him. Now, I said the only punctuation mark that we were going to learn was the period. But I want to point this one out to you also. It kind of looks like a period with a little tail. Does anybody know what that is called? That is called, you know? What is it? It's called a comma. Can you say comma? And a comma is used when you need to take a little pause. It's not always at the end of a sentence. It's never at the end of a sentence, actually. It is just when you need to take a little pause to go on to the next part of the sentence. Okay? So let me read this again. Jen ran at him, but Ox ran on. Now, is this the end of our sentence? Yeah, and how do we know that? Because there's a period, right? Because there's a period. Let's call it a period and not a dot, even though it kind of looks like a dot, okay?
It looks like a dot.
Him had him. What's that?
Pause.
Yeah, a pause, a comma. That means we pause. Him had him, but Ox ran on.
Period.
What does that mean?
We're done with the sentence.
We're done with the sentence. That is right. Good job. Men fed Ox, and on the ox?
Because he was hungry. Just being nice.
Because she was being nice to him, right? She fed him, right? And do you think he liked that?
Yeah.
Yeah. When
That's why he was looking.
when Kim and Jen were trying to get him, were they being really nice? No. And let me ask you this. Let me rephrase this. Why do you think Jen and Kim couldn't get him? Brooklyn.
Because they weren't being nice.
Because they weren't being nice. They weren't being kind, right? Yeah. Good job, boys and girls. Good job. So today in our big book, we talked about some punctuation marks. We talked about a period and we talked about a comma, right? I cannot wait for you guys to get your book in your hand so that you know how to use the period and the comma. Because you will, right? You'll remember it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good job.
I make every message with a period and.
All right. Let me move my camera back. All right. And the big book was on the slideshow, but you guys know I like to actually show you the book instead of us reading it on here. All right. So we're now coming to our activity. Now, we're at the end of Skills 5. So we have a lot of practice to do before we can move to Skill 6. So we'll have this lesson, which is lesson 14. We'll have lesson 15, and we'll have lesson 16. And those 3 lessons are mostly review and reading some of our stories. Okay? So your assignment, and my in-class people, I want you to wait before you pull your book out, okay? All right. My in-class people, your assignment today is going to be 14.1. And in 14.1, actually, skip 14.1. We're not doing 14.1 because I'm supposed to read the word and you're supposed to circle it and write it right here. But we're going to skip over that for right now. Okay? So what I want you to do is 14.2. You're going to draw a line from each phrase on the left to the matching picture. So let's look at this phrase. Kid at bat. Kid at bat. So I'm going to take kid at bat and I'm going to find the picture of the kid at bat. And then I'm going to draw a line to the kid at bat. Okay? And you will do the same on the back. Then for this one, you're going to write the words that contain the I sound spelled I under the header and the words. So, as in it. So if these words have it in them, you're going to write them here. Now, if it has in them, as in wet, you're going to write them here. We've done this before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then on the back, to review those vowel sounds still, if the word has as in cup, you're going to write it here. If it has as in top, you're going to write it here. Okay? Okay. Then you will have your take-home work, and that's going to be 14.4. Okay? All right, my online class. I will see you guys tomorrow with lesson 15. Bye.